Hi Pisces, welcome to your When the X returns. Okay, wow. All right, reading's over. Awesome. Celebration and a very good omen for the future. Man, those just jumped out. Welcome to your When the X returns 14. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. I will say that I will add to it that when I turn the bottom of the deck over to show you the card, that's going to be how you feel about it, because the reading is about your ex having already returned, not if they will. So it's already happened, and this is going to be how you feel about it. This reading right here is about your ex. All right. If that hasn't happened yet, then there are other readings you might be interested in first before you look at this one. All right, Pisces. Defensive. Your guard is up. You're still listening. Your guard is up and you're loaded for bear. You're ready to defend your position with prejudice. You're not putting up with any shenanigans. Eight of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Priestess reversed. Okay. We'll get to this in a minute. So, the Chariot. That's 3 heavies in a row, Pisces. This would suggest a very karmic relationship, past life even. Definitely a soulmate. Remember, soulmates don't always work out. They show up to help us through something or to realize something or to learn something, but it's not always going to be a forever. Page of Swords. Stop it. 7 of Cups. All right. Making it interesting. Okay, so what they are thinking about, this is somebody who's having trouble letting go and cutting the cord with you. They still feel very connected with you, and they are having a really hard time with it. They have not processed the grief yet. They haven't gone inward and found out what they truly want. They're just trying to ease the pain. Okay? This could be Cancer or Pisces. All right, so this is them working on themselves. This is solitary. This is not teamwork based. This is them going it alone and taking a look at themselves, basically. This is them still thinking of you, wanting to be in that committed partnership with you, reminiscing about a committed partnership with you. If it hasn't happened, that's what they would like. Maybe they haven't made it known. Again, with the thinking, again, with wanting to do better, trying to do better, not knowing how to do better, but wanting to learn, being willing to learn, and being very optimistic about it. They miss you and they can't shake it. This could be them wanting help with dealing with it. However, they see you as somebody that they are suited to be with. You might be opposites. We got the 2 opposing forces here, but they feel like that's what makes the relationship interesting. They feel like they fit with you and that, you two can go places because there's a transportation element too. It could be that somebody's going to move also to be back with you, or that you're going to move, but they feel like you're their fit. You're their person. Things ended when it started to get petty and kind of, I don't want to say immature, but when it started to just kind of lose interest, because we go from this to a page, right? But it also, this is like very young, naive, immature, or underdeveloped energy. Could have been harsh communication. They are definitely not in a relationship now. They too, your partner Pisces is soul searching. They've gone it alone. This ties in very nicely with the Hermit energy. It could be a Virgo, or they have Virgo in their chart, but this is them working on themselves. This is an 8, it's almost 10s or completions. This is a card of them doing an independent job or just working. So this could be somebody that bided their time by just throwing themselves into work. This is also them working on themselves, because 10s are about completion. It's also, at that point, for this person in the card, they would be submitting their work to show, okay, this is what I've come up with on my own, right? We went from the 3 of Pentacles all the way up to the 8, and I'm taking the project over. I'm doing things on my own. Here it is at a 10. This is an 8, I know, but when you get to it and you submit, and it's supposed to be completion, contentment, achievement. So this is about being vulnerable. This is about working on yourself and being vulnerable, getting yourself ready to present to somebody. They're almost there. They realize that you can only go so far by yourself, and they probably need you for the win. They need you for that victory or for completion. I don't feel like it's an unhealthy and codependent need, but with this could be somebody who just can't quite get past it and has an ulterior motive. Okay, could be that. We shall see. So let's go back over here. Okay, so I'm clarifying this Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Feel free to just jump out because that's what you've been doing. Okay, all right. I was being sarcastic, but fine. This flew out, and this flew out first. So that flew out first, and then these three decided, because I got cheeky, then they had to show me who's boss. Whatever. I'll get to these in a minute. This is how things ended. Probably cutting off communication, harsh words, things being, on its face, just the Page of Swords. It's about just kind of not being very involved in the relationship, just kind of taking it down to that base level of just communication, but not much else. No passion, enthusiasm. Maybe there was a lack of intimacy, just to run the gamut, and it ended abruptly. This could be about an epiphany and someone wanting to leave. Most likely this is an explosive breakup, or it's, like I said, somebody had an epiphany and was like, I got to get out of here. So this was a breakup out of the blue that broke up a happy home. That it could be that they realized they wanted stability and this wasn't it. That they had gone passive, that you had gone passive, that there just wasn't much there. But either way, an epiphany, a shock as far as the breakup went out of the blue, could be explosive, could be just the breakup itself. Things were not as stable as they liked. They wanted stability. This was not it. So we have somebody in the relationship that might not have been working or might have been very controlling, taking things for granted, being very expectant and controlling and domineering of the other person. And that most assuredly probably ended the relationship. Again, with the Page of Swords, the inactivity, the watching and expecting but not really contributing. Here we have the Nine of Wands again. Even before you broke up, probably your guard was up. There was probably some fighting or just a defensive position. Maybe you weren't engaging in fighting. You were just kind of going passive, but definitely on the inside you were feeling defensive and loaded for bear. Still trying to, you got to respect the Nine of Wands though. For me, it feels like, okay, I'm still going to show up. I will still be here. I will still listen. I'm still here, but I'm pissed, And then we have the final resolution here, which is about again with the harsh words, somebody just being cold-hearted, bitch, cutting things off. And I know this is like a lot of detail about this, but this is what flew out. And I was being cheeky and I got spanked here, so fine, I'll do them. But this is about a decisive move. Whatever happened, it was very clear that that was it, that was the ending, or that this is what is happening. This is what I'm doing. No holds barred. Absolutely no emotion involved in that decision. So this is a relationship that kind of probably devolved. That started off great, and then it kind of went here, Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah, and they're not seeing anybody. They Pisces, not you Pisces, your partner, your ex returning is doing a lot of soul searching. So here they reach out to you. They're not making most likely they're not going to make their intentions known. They might not even know what they want. They just can't quit you. Confused, spoiled for choice, overwhelmed with their choices, daydreaming. They might be fantasizing about a second chance, because they do feel like you were their person. A second chance with you that is, they might be thinking, okay, how am I going to make a secure offer to this person? How am I going to let them know that I'm serious this time? How am I going to let them know that I've gone from this to this? It might be backtracking, but maybe I was a bit overbearing, just a tad domineering. Maybe I was a jerk. Maybe I was a control freak. I really see that now, and I want things to be equal and secure. I want solid, safe, steady movement with this person, but I realize we're going to have to take it slow. I'm not sure what approach I should take. I'm not sure if I should approach this person. I'm still deciding on that. That's where it's at. They're still thinking it over, but you are definitely on their mind. They don't know if they want to make their intentions known. They might not, like I said, they might not even be sure of their intentions. And they are wondering if this is the right thing to do. Also, that maybe you don't want them. But look at this. I mean, God, I'm sitting over here mouthing off like, oh, why don't you just jump out and then look at all of this backstory to this page right here. We got the tower, we got the death, we got the, I mean, there's this, you guys have been through it. So, so now they're back in the picture. Your position probably hasn't changed. You were the Nine of Wands here, and you're the Nine of Wands here. So it looks like they're the ones that have done the soul searching and realize that it's them that they need to do the work, or that they're coming up with a way to see if, all right, can we? Because you're a person, you fit with me. I want to work together. I want to be on the same page. Or can you fit car? No, it's not that. It's much bigger than that. All right, this is the last card in the Oracle deck. That is direction, purpose, being prepared, and then doing one small thing every day to make progress towards your goal, or just to get yourself out of a rut so that you can have a more varied, interesting life. This is about small steps leading to a big change eventually. You have everything you need to be fulfilled without, I feel like this is for this person right here, because this is about them not knowing what to do. And this is saying, so, if you're cross-watching and you're thinking about getting back together with your Pisces, or you're already in your Pisces life, I feel like for some of you, this might be like, look, baby steps. Start off slow with this person. If you're unsure, start off slow and just make progress that way. Start off slow and give it time. Same thing with you, Pisces. You just keep on keeping on. You're not in a position to need this person anymore. So you just keep on keeping on and keep doing what you're doing. And hopefully you two will eventually be matching up with that. But this is saying, to me, it's saying stay the course. It's just a matter of, this is about you having choice, because you're prepared and doing one small thing a day, working towards that big goal, is eventually you're going to get there. So with or without this person. So this is a choice for you. This is a choice. Maybe they recognize that, and that's why they're timid or they're hesitant. They just don't know what to do or how to say what they want. They might feel like that you don't need them, or that you don't want to be with them. All right, Pisces. Reflection. Illusion. This could be, illusion could speak to the High Priestess reversed again. Ulterior motives, secrecy. Rather than mystery, there's secrecy. This could speak to Pisces or Cancer, because we got that Moon card. Self-examination and distortion. Again, this seems to reflect more with the person coming back, your ex, than it does you, Pisces. The Hermit. Self-reflection, trying to sort out the distortion, trying to see through the illusion. The High Priestess also could be considered disillusioned, because they're not listening to their inner voice. They could have an ulterior motive. So very interesting that these are, to me, they're speaking about your partner more than it is about you, Pisces. All right, 2 more. I'm not gonna make any more jokes about the cards jumping out. And don't start it back in there. Okay, let's land it over here. Freya. Bold. Unleash your adventurous side. Take risks and be daring. Okay. All right. Well, again, this speaks to the choice being yours. Talk about bold and daring, right? Look at the outfit. So, this is, again, doubling down on the fact that the choice gets to be yours. It gets to be your future to create. You have everything you need with or without this person. Choice will be yours. Perhaps this is saying that you should think on it a lot more than you have now that they're there. And maybe this speaks to you really trying to see through the illusion, or being suspicious of them, because this is, you got your guard up. You're defensive. And with good reason. Especially if there are control issues. Nobody likes that. Eesh. Guides. Your spirit guides are there to help you communicate with your spirit guides today. Okay. Maybe your partner would benefit from doing that too, since they're not listening to their inner voice. But as far as you seeing through the illusion, and you putting one foot in front of the other and keeping going, and you making those bold choices for yourself, you can, never hurts to use your intuition, right? To go inward and to listen to anything and everything that comes up. Think on it some more, that sort of thing. So not groundbreaking here, but just kind of doubling down on, all right, got everything you need to make those bold choices. Maybe some self-reflection and meditation. Maybe more of it's in order. Either way, You're sitting pretty. It's them who's making the changes when they come back to you, and you get to decide. Okay. All right. So that is what I have for you, Pisces. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.